start, let's say, in the deep history of Schomburg, so that it's founded in 1937 by the grandfather of Mr. Schomburg, as a distribution company for construction chemicals. So, and quite fast. So in 1949, we also discovered that development and production is somehow a key issue to guarantee a quality of products, quality of systems, and so indeed, when Mr. Schomburg's, now the senior, stepped in 1961, he quite fast forms the name of a system construction material, because he sees that just a single product sometimes doesn't fulfill the wishes. So and a single product is not often used. It's usually several products. These products form a system, and also then in the later decades after the year 60, we also focused on developing of systems for waterproofing, systems for tile laying, as we see this relation in between the products. And this is, let's say, still a major point, let's say, of our product program and also of our development stage, that we see the correlation of different products we have. But in base, the Schomburg company, let's say the roots are really in waterproofing, what starts with easy bituminous protection paints in the late 30s. Really develops up to a two-component cementitious slurries in the 60s, up to, let's say, very high and complicated formulations for bituminous emulsions, for fast-setting reactive cementitious coatings, epoxy PU coatings nowadays. And of course, the next challenge in the future will be, for sure, environmental questions within all that chemical aspects we have. And this is still something where we putting a lot of focus on in our research and development. And what I mentioned, production was a key issue for us to ensure a good quality, but also research and development, what is still a big part of our headquarter here, also in regards to manpower and women power, of course, are the laboratories, the research and development. And this will always be somehow a key point for the success, especially for the success in the future, because we see what we develop now will be in some points a major product on the market in a few years. Yeah. Sometimes it needs 10 years. And this especially also we see in with the issue of Betocrete as a type B waterproofing. Let's say there's a real competence out of waterproofing products, concrete admixture products, the knowledge from our own concrete lab, that all have influence on the development of this latest technology, what is nowadays the 2-in-1 technology with crystalline and hydrophobic products. And for sure, this is now the edge of performance in the crystalline, in the admixture range for waterproofing for type B. But if you're looking further, if you're thinking, okay, what might happen in the year 2050? For sure, we have to consider a 3-in-1 technology. Whatever comes up, the world still turns around. The construction goes further. As I mentioned, environmental issues take place. This will all have plays a role, also in development, and that's where we are still looking after how to update our current formulations and what to do better with the current products.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That was really comprehensive, to be fair. So when looking at say 80 years worth of experience, 80 years worth of developing like knowledge of the industry and just developing products based on your research and development, I really want to home in on kind of what your facilities at Detmold are like, because for anyone in the UK who's potentially listening or listening in or watching, they might not have ever heard of Detmold itself. and then especially not heard or seen the facilities that are involved in developing our products. And so we utilize your products because we believe you're market leaders in what you do, and we see that in the research and development. So just in the past couple of years, obviously you mentioned Betacrete as an example. Do you just want to give an overview of what the kind of facilities is like, what work is kind of going on in those facilities, and then how that goes through to certifications then?
Yes, of course, with pleasure. So what, let's say, in Detmold, this is really our hometown. Here we have our headquarters, so it's in the northern center of Germany. We have in our headquarters are currently 200 employees working on it. Zocine, of course, it's not the biggest facility for construction chemicals in the world, but it's a very specialized one. We are always trying to have newest technologies that also ensure the labor safety in our production and also ensure, let's say, very high quality level as an outcome of the production. Our location here is quite good. I mean, we are a family company. Our suppliers are very, very long-term suppliers. For example, cement, for example, quartz sand. These are not just suppliers. These are, in the meantime, somehow friends who are working together. We have an excellent supply chain that also ensures our quality, what is coming out. We can speak with our suppliers about any problems, any issues that come up. And this is all that we see it as a family company. Somehow by nature, we have an somehow other feeling or different feeling for the people, for the markets. So I myself, I'm working now over 20 years in this Schomburg company, and I always say it's a family company because it's from a family, but it's also feeling like a family. And this is an issue. We are dealing with humans. We are dealing with the people. And this is also how we treat our suppliers and also our clients. So we want to achieve some goals with our partners, with our clients. We want to help them fulfill the needs of some construction sites. And this, of course, is the complete issue of laboratory. We have actually 25 people working in our laboratory. This is an issue with the production where 60 people are working with the latest technology of production. And in the end, this is also an issue about this logistics. We have a very modern warehouse where we have a capacity of 4,500 pallets. To ensure always delivery in time, to ensure that, let's say, when the season starts up, so in Europe we have somehow construction seasons, that we can supply our clients with the products. And the good thing is, I mean, we are working now over 80 years in this construction business. We know very good what are really the needs, the demands from the market. And as I mentioned, so if new trends come up, we are very close to the markets with our distribution partners as Atal in the UK. We have a very close eye on the market. What's happening? What does we need to develop to be on the latest technologies, and also what happens in the world and what ideas can be put into this new product development.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Do you want to talk about kind of how you guys are global? You've expanded into multiple countries, probably every continent, maybe other than Antarctica, I guess. So let's just discover kind of what your base is across the world.
Yeah. So even if we are somehow a family-based company, we have 220 employees in whole Germany. We have 2 plants, one in Halle in the eastern part. We have globally we have 500 employees with 6 different production plants. And currently, indeed, we are exporting to 86 countries worldwide. I guess the only continent where we are not present is Antarctica, but in all continents, you can somehow find our products, our solutions, and that also speaks for the quality of the products. I mean, we have also ranges like tiling products where we are stronger, of course, in Europe, but the specialities, the waterproofing products, and there is really a demand worldwide. And there you have to see it from different perspectives. In Europe, we more treat it like protecting construction against moisture. In other countries, we have the challenge to save water, to treat water storages, facilities for water protection. And this is there's always demand in, let's say, sustainable construction, protect the construction, and by that achieve a longer lifespan of the construction. So then this is really the challenge we see worldwide, and this is why also the demand for our products is nearly worldwide given.
Amazing, thank you so much. So based on that now, let's look at just one of the products, or one of the product series that you've developed, and it's one that we're promoting quite heavily at the moment. So the Betacrete C series. What are the main, or just want to give a brief description initially at what the Betacrete series is, and then we'll look more specifically at the major benefits of using the Betacrete system for Type B waterproofing.
Yeah, sure. So the Betacrete C series is in generally a crystalline concrete admixture that by contact with humidity, with water, crystals grow, blocks the pores of the concrete. In general, this is a not brand new technology. It's coming around 40s, 50s, it had been invented, but we see that the potential by this to use the concrete structure as the waterproofing layer is really tremendous. So it's huge potential if we see, okay, saving resources, saving also money by not applying further waterproofing layers from the outside, and simply embed the waterproofing layer into the concrete layer. And the issue for us, or the key point for us, was crystalline, interesting technology, but what can we do with it? How can we develop this issue further? And so we come to the point that we also look, okay, where had been this concrete admixture been dosed? What are sometimes the difficulties in the product? What can be an added value to the product? And all these ideas now are available with the product Betacrete, where we see, okay, we added a liquid crystalline admixture, what is really unique in the market, because it's easier for the concrete plant to dose this admixture. And this will definitely have a benefit for the concrete plants. We added an additional benefit. We call it this 2-in-1 technology, and with an crystalline, what is an hydrophilic property, with an hydrophobic property, to say, hey, we need this 2-in-1 technology to have an extra safety belt for our clients for the protection of concrete. So we managed, let's say, two things that are really hard to combine, to get it combined. We have in crystalline waterproofing, what is so seen the second line of defense, and we also added a first line of defense in hydrophobic waterproofing for the concrete, what somehow stops the first attack by water, by moisture. So, and this, like all hydrophobic properties, decrease by the time. The crystalline technology will fulfill the waterproofing by let these crystals grow. And this is somehow, that was the challenge that we succeed. And definitely there are more things to follow up. So there will follow some new product lines that we also already have here downstairs in our laboratories. But this is some secret issue that I will tell you later about.
Later on. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Another product, I'm springing this one on you, that I've actually been interested in and I've been looking at is the RB400, the Aquafin series. But the RB400 acts as a radon barrier, which will be of great interest to a lot of people in the United Kingdom in places where radon is an issue. And so we've started obviously specifying that now for projects, but just want to give a brief description of what RB400 is and then some of the benefits of that as well.
Yes, with pleasure. So the RB400, somehow the roots of it were really laid in the 60s, where we, as the first company, also invented a two-component cementitious waterproofing slurry. So over the decades, we see that it's really a growing market, perfect for waterproofing of swimming pools, of underground structures, water basins, whatever. But of course, in the last 10, 15 years, we see that outside many bituminous coatings are applied. We see nowadays that somehow the green issue comes up, so more environmentally friendly products. And of course, we want to make it, the applicator, more easier to apply the products. We want somehow to get a bigger security in the application. That's why it's fast reacting. And in the end, we also considered, hey, how can we combine it? Waterproofing. We also have sometimes challenges of radon, of methane gas proofing that we are faced with, not only in UK, also in Germany, Switzerland. There are strict rules how to protect it. And so we managed, out of our simple two-component cementitious, we really created an, let's say, technically high-end product that gives you a waterproofing, that gives you a radon-proof membrane, and what is in the end also fast reacting. So it means the applicator can quite fast go through the application process and can also start quite fast the next process of, let's say, backfilling, of installation of further plaster layers and so on. And this is something what is quite unique on the market, and again on the, let's say, latest edge of technology, where we are really see big potentials on the market if we are talking about ground gas protection and also waterproofing.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That's really informative. Let's talk about the Atoll Schomburg partnership. We're obviously the exclusive distributors for you here in the UK. What does that look like for you, and why would you choose Atoll UK?
Let's start again at the very beginning. We are a family company, and so as also Atoll. And this is where we see this is the first issue. So we are dealing with people, and this is a major point. And we directly see that with David Rees, we have a direct sense of we are talking the same language. Yeah. Not really language-wise. We are talking German, you're talking in English, but we have the same understanding for waterproofing. And this is really somehow a major issue. We understand each other blind, as we say it here in Germany, if we are talking about waterproofing. And this is really somehow then a reliable constellation of us as a producing company and Atoll as a distributing company to see where are the possibilities in the market, what is really the demand from your clients. And also for us, it's good to know that you have somehow very good guys sitting there in the spec department who knows really what does it needs to be done in regards to waterproofing. We have the full backup of product technique. So if you have some questions about application, we can fulfill all that. And this is also a very important point for a partnership, to support each other, to do something in the market and to provide in the end your clients with the best possible solution. And this is how we find each other. And I think it's a quite good marriage.
Yeah, it's very good. I guess the way I kind of see it is you provide the products, we provide the service to the United Kingdom. And one of the things we see you as is obviously the Germans are known for their engineering. And that's very good when it comes to civil engineering. So yeah, that's something that's really important for us, and to see that you guys are obviously expanding globally is really great, and to see that the desire that we see in the UK for these products is also everywhere else in the world for Schomburg stuff. So yeah, that's really encouraging for us. What about Brexit as a concept? It's been kind of for the past 4 years a topic of discussion. It's now happened. But we're still happy to have the connection with you, and we're still happy that that's kind of been uninfringed, I guess. There's nothing that's severed that. So what are some of the encouragements of not having some tariff deals in place for us going forward then?
Let's say it this way, we are feeling really as somehow Europeans. And for that feeling, somehow it's a pity for us that Great Britain left the European Union. In the end, our relationship with Schomburg and Natal and our idea to create something on the British market is so strong that I have absolutely no doubts that even a pre-Brexit phase and post-Brexit phase, and also in 5 years, let's say our partnership will exist, and we will provide the British construction industry, let's say, with good solutions and good services. So, as mentioned, it's a pity, but the life will go on. Some decisions sometimes are taken, but in the end, it will not really massively disturb our relation. We are so seen in our long-term 80 years history, just at a very starting point. We are so seen a very small child that needs to be grown. And this is somehow the perspective we definitely see. So let's, both of us, Atal, Schomburg, let's be grown-ups in a few years, and still we will definitely have success then.
Yeah, definitely. So just to round up this kind of interview then, what final remarks would you have as to why trust Schomburg and why trust the Atal-Schomburg partnership?
Let's say definitely the know-how, the competence, and the, let's say, history about this knowledge. This is something combined with products, what makes this relation from Atal and Schomburg quite unique, and also its services. So, I mean, if we are 5 months in business, how to gain experience? But we are in business over 80 years. And if you multiply this 80 years by the decades our colleagues are in business and the decades how you are at Atal in business, I mean, David Rees is over 20 years in the business. Many of you guys are also long years in the business. And if you see that age of the know-how, this is something really what, let's say, give sustainable business. This is also what gives a trust from clients into our services, because most of the problems who occur on construction sites we had been already faced with. And this is really the major point. Knowing where are the limits, knowing where can problems occur, and providing the solution. And this is what we see globally, is really something that gives a good partnership, a very good base also to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, this has been a great interview. If there's any one who would like to receive some marketing material as to what the benefits of the products are, or the solutions, or even samples, then we can provide all of that. Our area technical managers would love to be in touch. We get involved right from the first stage. We love to be involved from the design process, so our technical team can be involved in helping architects and engineers to provide the most robust and cost-effective solution for their waterproofing needs. So please do get in touch. Thank you very much, Christian.
Thank you very much for your interview.
And thank you for me. Cheers.